We also believe in responsible development of alternative clean energy with the development of these huge industrial wind farms starting just 9 miles off of our coast in Brigantine, being both the tallest and the closest, most visible project in the world, is rushed, reckless, and dangerous on many fronts. Our organization, only 3 months old, was formed for, among other things, to make people of New Jersey aware of the unilateral actions that your state and federal government, in concert with these multi-billion-dollar wind and energy firms, are taking to install hundreds of massive industrial turbines off of our beautiful beaches. And for those of you that aren't aware, we are in lockstep with Save LBI and Protect Our Coast in forming a joint coalition of concerned citizens up on the New Jersey shore. As I say, it's all about power in numbers, and we need to keep up the fight here. History has shown that big industry interests outweigh the concerns of ordinary citizens, and we the people become casualties in the aftermath. How many times have we witnessed the failures of our bureaucratic agencies who become unduly influenced with their close partnerships with big industry? Instead of being the watchdogs for the citizens who pay their salaries, they become the cheerleaders for the very industries that they are supposed to be critically overseeing. And let's think about that. Asbestos, toxic mortgages, and opioid prescription drugs are just a few of the examples that I can give to you. Now we are faced with another giant, big wind, and once again history is repeating itself. If built, these huge structures, and we're talking hundreds of these structures, placed along our coast will be the most dominant feature in our seascape. And once again, money and power seem to be the potent combination and motive for these operations. Those in charge of these projects in government and business have used this combination to effectively bypass our state legislature, local municipalities, and most importantly, you, the taxpayers, to achieve their objective, building these massive turbines with little or no concern for their harmful, long-lasting consequences to the environment, economy, tourism, and a host of other elements critical to our livelihoods. And if that's not bad enough, you, the ratepayers, are going to pay the bill for all this when it's all over. Coping for the excessive cost of this inefficient, damaging project that's going to require thousands of acres of real estate on both ocean and land, and possibly even exposing us to threats to national security. Interestingly, it seems that your legislators and these multi-million-dollar wind turbine companies conveniently fail to take any real action to notify the citizens of their intended installation of these monstrosities off our shores. And yes, they will be the dominant feature on our coastlines. And not only that, you're most likely going to hear them. And that's studies that are going on right now, particularly when they're only 9 miles offshore. Talk about noise pollution. Not to mention having to watch thousands of flashing red lights on the ocean all night long from Sandy Hook to Cape May, New Jersey.
Boom.
Boom. To the best of our knowledge, the New Jersey state government, in conjunction with these wind companies, Atlantic Shores and Orsted, have failed to adequately notify the citizens of New Jersey of their intended installation, and worse, to promote and communicate any of the benefits of this to you, the citizens of New Jersey, for your ownership in this project. Let me repeat, it's our ownership, okay? We own these things at the end of the day. We are gonna pay for it all, between all the money that's going into this. So here's a simple question to ask your legislators. Have they properly advertised and promoted community, township, and county public hearings for the opportunity for public comment and to provide feedback directly to our officials, elected officials in Trenton, and executives of the wind farm companies about the potentially significant impacts that hundreds of these offshore mega wind turbines will have on New Jersey coast ecosystem, commercial and recreational fishing, tourist economy, real estate values, and ultimately your quality of life at the beach as you know it today? Nope. And here is my question to our legislators here in this building in Trenton. If this idea, offshore wind, is such a fantastic idea,
Why does it need to
wouldn't
be
these
so?
legislators and these wind farm companies want us to know that? Has our New Jersey state government acted fairly and honestly in their dealings with the wind farm companies? Have they communicated effectively with the citizens of New Jersey?
No.
Not at all. Not at all.
We think not. And we personally find these actions or lack thereof of the New Jersey state government, Orsted, and Atlantic Shores to be a complete affront to the basic tenets of our society.
No windmills!
As I was taught in elementary school, and perhaps you were too, we are a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Someone in this building has forgotten about that. We strongly believe that this entire offshore wind project should, at a minimum, be on hold indefinitely until judicial mechanisms of basic democratic process to include public, state, and federal hearings, discussions, and the appropriate cost and risk analyses can be applied to determine if this wind farm project possesses any merit whatsoever. And I will say it again, we believe the New Jersey state and federal government have thus far shown total contempt for the citizens of New Jersey on this issue.
Yeah.
That's right.
Finally, let us talk about the whales. They have awakened us to the potential significant harm and weaknesses of this mega wind farm program, both above and below the ocean surface. As far as we know, there has not yet been a completely independent and comprehensive post-mortem medical examination of any of the dozens of whales and dolphins that have unfortunately died in the past few months. Their lifeless carcasses have landed on our beaches from New York to Maryland, unprecedented in our lifetime. Nonetheless, the offshore wind projects and mapping of the ocean floor continues unabated. Yet your federal government has condoned the disturbance and harassment of these creatures. Yet they say no evidence of offshore activities harming or killing these beautiful animals. And why? As Tricia mentioned, because they're not looking for the evidence.
They're not looking at all.
This ongoing disregard for the terrible deaths of these peaceful and beautiful marine mammals cannot be described as anything but unconscionable. And in fact, it should shock the conscience of any human being. Not to mention the hundreds or perhaps thousands of migratory fish species in the endangered right whales and thousands of other winged migratory creatures that travel up and down the Atlantic coast every year directly in the path of these wind farms. That is to say that it's not improbable that the installation of these wind turbines may result in the total and likely irreversible destruction of the Atlantic shore's entire ecosystem.
Yep, absolutely.
No turbines!
The only dominant feature in our seascape going forward should be our beautiful clean ocean and its inhabitants.
That's right. Yep.
It's what it has been. It is what it has been for thousands of years, and God help us for thousands more. I hope you will do what's right and do your part to ensure it does. We have delivered over 450,000 signatures to Governor Murphy today and the legislators. Let's raise the bar and send them 1 million more. The elections are coming. Thank you all for supporting us today.